To understand how your electricity bill is calculated, you need to know more than just the rates you pay. You also need to know how much energy you use, because that's what determines your final bill. When you look at your electricity bill, you can see how much you spent on electricity for the whole month. And this is found by multiplying the price per kilowatt hour by the number of kilowatt hour your home used during that month. Now, depending on where you live, you might also need to take into account the additional delivery charges the electricity company includes in your bill. If you're currently looking for electricity plans, this video will help you understand how much you will be paying based on your average usage. Now, the first thing that we have to do is to always check the electricity facts label or the EFL document. So in this document, you will find the average price per kilowatt hour. Now, this is again an average price, so depending on the usage, in this case, if you use for this particular plan, if you use 500 kilowatt hours, then you have this rate for this is the average price per kilowatt hour. Then you're gonna have a different price if you use an average of 1,000 kilowatt hour, and then a different rate if you use 2,000. Now, if you analyze these three values, you can see that as long as you're around 1,000 kilowatt hour, your rate is actually the best rate that you can get from this particular plan. Now, these are average values or average prices, so this is not really the final rate, but we're gonna show you how to compute the final rate just in a minute. The actual values that you need are here, so you can see energy charge. This is the actual energy charge per kilowatt hour, and then in this plan you have a usage credit that maybe this can change between companies. Some companies can give you this credit. In this case, if your rate or your usage is actually between 1,000 and 2,000, then you will receive $100 per billing cycle of credit. If your usage is between 1,000 and 2,000 kilowatt hour. And this is why in the average values, you can see that the best rate that you can get is when you are in the 1,000 and 2,000, less than 2,000 rate or usage. Now, depending on where you live, you're also going to pay for delivery charges. So not only the energy charges, but also the delivery charges. And if you take a closer look, you can see energy charges per kilowatt hour. So this is based on usage. And there is another, so one of the delivery charges is also based on usage. So you can see that we have 4.9454 cents per kilowatt hour. And then there is an additional charge of this is $4.39 per billing cycle. Now let's take a look at the equation that you might need to compute the final amount that you will be paying every month. So first we have the energy charge per kilowatt hour, and so this is the rate. And if we go back to the electricity facts label for this particular plan, you can see that the energy charge in this case is 16.54 cents per kilowatt hour, which in this case, remember that this is cents, so you had to divide that amount by 100, and so this is the actual rate in dollars. And then we have to multiply this energy charge per kilowatt hour by the actual usage per kilowatt hour. Now in this example, you can see that the bill for this home shows a usage of 1,116 kilowatt hour. So if we take that number into our equation, then 1,116, you can see that this is basically multiplying. So we're multiplying these two factors, these two values, and then we're adding some additional fees and taxes that this is probably a very low value in your case too. And so we get the first subtotal of 187.29 cents. Remember that we're first multiplying the energy charge per kilowatt hour and the kilowatt hour usage. So you have this rate, and this is the amount of kilowatt hour you used. Now let's compute the other part of the equation. So depending on where you live, you're gonna have different delivery charges, but usually you have a fixed rate per cycle, which is in this case 4.39. These are dollars. And then we have the delivery charges based on kilowatt hour, which in our case is 4.9454. So then let's take these numbers to the equation, and as you can see here, this is the number. So 4.9454 divided by the 100. So this is now in dollars, and then we had to multiply by the usage. So in this case, we have 1,116, and then remember that we have a fixed delivery charge per billing cycle, which is this value. And so we're multiplying these two, again, delivery charge per kilowatt hour, multiplied by the usage, and then we're adding the constant or fixed value, which in this case is $4.39. And then we also need to add a few additional fees and taxes, and this is gonna give us the initial subtotal of $284. So now, depending on the plan that you have, in this case we have this usage credit, which is giving us a credit of $100 if the usage is between 1,000 and 2,000 kilowatt hours. So in this case, we can apply that credit. So we can we'll subtract the $100. And so our final bill is this one, so this amount, so $148 approximately. And as you can see, this is the amount that we pay based on the usage, again, the usage and the rate. And so you now know how to compute, how to calculate the actual final amount that you will be paying. Remember, you need the energy charge per kilowatt hour, and then of course the usage. You need to know more or less the average usage that you have per month. And then depending on where you live, then you have delivery charges, and so you need to multiply again the rate of the delivery charge multiplied by the usage, and then perhaps add a few other fees, small fees, and then you can just add up all these amounts. And so this is the total, and then if you get some credit from the company, then you can subtract that amount, and this then is the final amount that you will be paying monthly, at least for this month. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also join our newsletter directly on our website.